General Motors lays off 1,000 employees, one with over 20 years of tenure, through a text. I remember watching the 2009 movie Up in the Air with George Clooney and thinking how spineless were these companies that they can't even lay off their own employees. Fast forward to now, and George Clooney's character in that movie would have received his layoff notice long, long ago. Large corporations have figured out that his job in that movie is no longer relevant. Easier and quicker to do it through an email, a text, or recorded video message from a well-compensated C-suite executive. COVID removed the last of any heart, compassion, or loyalty that any Fortune 500 company has for any of its employees. It's clear now that an employee is just one of thousands and a number on an Excel spreadsheet, as easy to remove as hitting the backspace key.
GM is announcing even more layoffs, which is not good news for those employees and even future job seekers, as it's going to add more people to the application pool. This is kind of crazy. A lot of companies are laying off, and car manufacturers, especially General Motors, is continuing that trend, especially since all the tariffs were supposed to help these companies, all of these American auto manufacturers, but it's been having the opposite effect. A lot of people are getting laid off. A lot of people are having trouble finding jobs. And overall, the economy is just in a really tough spot right now. So we're hoping that interest rates come down. Then we have these businesses pick up profits again. A lot of people think that these companies are swimming in money, and they may as well be. But when they see declines in revenue, that's not good for people's jobs, and they will cut expenses to maintain their salaries as much as they can, which is pretty much how the world works right now. But take a look at the rest of these clips. It's pretty interesting.
Imagine working somewhere for 38 years and waking up to an email at 5:07 in the morning letting you know that you don't work there anymore because your job's been eliminated as part of a layoff. One person doesn't have to imagine that. Adam Bernard, a 38-year employee of General Motors, whose job was eliminated last week as part of a large layoff at GM. Now, one thing that stuck out with me, because I've talked about layoffs and how they're so inhuman, and the board will give a number and just tell corporate leadership, figure out how to meet it. And often people are looking at spreadsheets and just picking things out by numbers, not thinking of the names behind these layoffs and how you're taking away a job from someone that worked there for 38 years in plenty of cases like that. And so my one question is, was there more thought that went into whether to send the email and time this to go out at 5 o'clock on the dot or to send it at 5:07? And was there more thought put into that than the rest of the layoff altogether?
Let's be realistic. You know why GM is laying off thousands of workers in the United States. Of course, their profits have been high. They want them to stay high. And they're not going to be able to sell GMs in the United States when all of the parts that they need to make them are coming from somewhere with a 10% or 20% tariff on it. Let's be real. It's already happening. Thank you, DJT.
We have some breaking news right now. General Motors is laying off 1,000 of its employees, despite the fact that the company is about to see record-breaking profits this year. No one is talking about this, and it's time we hold big corporations like General Motors accountable. According to the automaker is realigning its priorities in the EV space after the public adoption of EVs has not been as fast as GM once expected. And this is also partially likely due to the fact that the Trump administration is literally cutting the EV tax credit that has provided tax credits to thousands of Americans who have purchased EV vehicles. And this comes after the company let go of another 1,000 salaried employees just back in August. Now, the vice president of the United Auto Workers, the union that represents these auto workers who were laid off, made a statement this morning saying, quote, GM is trying to cut around 50 UAW jobs when they're making record profits. We will fight for our laid off members with the full force of our contract. I think it is absolutely abhorrent that big companies can make record profits, yet still cut salaries, especially at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty over consumer pricing with possible tariffs. And also, it's literally the holiday season. Christmas is coming up, Hanukkah's coming up, and these employees won't have a job because of General Motors. And for the record profits that GM is about to earn is more than $14.5 billion. Let that sink in. Comment below your thoughts. Spread this to your friends, family, and loved ones so that they know what's happening and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this isn't good. America's biggest private company, Cargill, is getting ready to lay off over 5% of its workforce. Let me tell you why this is not good. First, Cargill is America's largest privately held company. It is also the world's largest agricultural commodities trader. AKA, if things aren't going good with agriculture, things aren't going good for them. But now grocery prices are dropping. On top of that, the number of U.S. cattle is down, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Are we starting to get it? Cargill has invested to be one of the largest beef processors in North America. Bloomberg reported earlier this year that the famously tight-lipped behemoth's profits had fallen to $2.48 billion in the fiscal year ending in May. If $2.48 billion is bad, I'd love to know what's good. Now here's the problem. Cargill has more than 160,000 employees, and there's going to be an estimated 8,000 cuts. Then they give you this mumbo jumbo. As we look to the future, we have laid out a clear plan to evolve and strengthen our portfolio to take advantage of compelling trends in front of us, maximizing our competitiveness and above all, continuing to deliver for our customers. Gotta love the corporate world. But yeah, guys, in a nutshell, this spells disaster in a way, because the biggest commodities trader in agriculture is getting ready to lay off 8,000 people, and they're the behemoth of this space. Something's not right.
So I think I'm gonna get laid off tomorrow. I got an email from our executive director asking if I can meet with him tomorrow, and the title of that email was my organization's name, staffing, and I was like, oh fuck. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm trying my best to remain calm, and it is hard. To be honest, I didn't think that this was gonna happen to me, but I was wrong. At least I think I'm wrong. I guess we'll just have to see what happens tomorrow, but in the meantime, I am just going to do my best to try and not think about it. Although I think that's gonna be a little difficult. So yeah, at the end of the day, it just fucking sucks, and I have no other words other than that. It just fucking sucks. Cheers to being an adult in 2025, I guess.
Thanks for jumping on, everybody. So as you know, we've made the very difficult decision to lay off 25% of the organization, and here's why you should be excited about that, okay? Because not only is it not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, because it wasn't as much of a layoff as much as it is a re-strategizing of our existing priorities. And what that newfound focus is going to allow us to do is really reinvent and reimagine the way that we do business, okay? And while I can assure you that these decisions are not made in a vacuum, they are made with a mop, okay? Just like a clean sweep, so that now we have a clean floor. And what we're able to build on that floor is really up to you, okay? Because what this does is it opens up a lot of very exciting opportunities, not just for us as a business, but also for all of the remaining stakeholders. We have a lot more leeway and a lot more breathing room in order to give you guys the path that you need, okay? And while I know what you're thinking, oh, does this mean like I'm gonna get promoted, I'm gonna get a raise? Yeah, maybe.
Let me tell you how bad the job market is right now. I got laid off about 36 days ago. Probably 200 applications in. Out of that, probably 25 rejection letters. Signed up at Walmart for a job. Signed at the local Publix, my grocery store, for a job. No interviews, no contacts. Out of all the applications I put in, I've had 2 interviews. Been ghosted probably 15 times. Then I decided, well, you know what? I'll do DoorDash. Went to do DoorDash. Couldn't get on in the area. Your zone is full. Can't even do DoorDash. That's how bad it is. I've been aged out 36 days. This is the longest I've ever been without a job ever in my life. 23 years in the military, master's degree, bachelor's, tons of experience. Can't find anything.
The job market is absolutely abysmal in 2025. And guys, you've got people across the entire United States. It doesn't matter what demographics you are. It don't matter what state. It don't matter what city you are in. It don't even matter who you voted for. All these different things is just noise. They don't matter. The job market, they're going to get you laid off no matter what. And there's countless of stories of people's lives being affected. People's, families, people's, friends, and people that we know, like people who are just like me and you are without a job the next day. Like, it is very sad to see. And within the midst of this, you've got another layoff over at a GM plant, guys. Y'all know the car market is absolutely falling apart, guys. You got the GM plant over in Missouri. And guys, I always show the map. Y'all love it when I show the map right here. Here's the map, right? Missouri GM plant. is laying off pretty much almost their entire facility. However, they're calling it a temporary layoff only because, it's because they're without parts for right now, or whatever case is. Now, we don't know why they are without parts. We don't know if they just stopped ordering, or we don't know. We need more context. They didn't provide much context, but they're predicting as of right now, they're saying, oh, they're going to resume work on October 19th. But we don't know. Right now, we just know that however many people are without a job right now as we speak. And it's very sad to see. Not even gonna lie. These people, no matter, like I said, I'm not even trying to make this video political. It's just really, really, these are families, right? These are people. These are real people within America. But I got more videos in here that are absolutely gonna blow your mind. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well for more great content like this. Let's get to the rest of the video.
I fucking hate it here. My husband's job burned down, as you guys know. And, used the last of my gas to take him to an interview so he can hopefully get a job. I have no income coming in. Unemployment denied him. My truck is like on its last fucking leg. It stalled out twice on the way here. And, life's not supposed to be this hard.
Am I missing something? Because I thought we were supposed to be having this really great economy right now. I got laid off 2 months ago.
I was just laid off last week. The company I worked for the last 4.5 years decided to close their doors. I shouldn't say decided, kind of had to. So let's talk about it. Also, there is nothing that hits harder than a witch's brew Alani when it is 43 degrees outside. And I've tried recording this like 5 times. Sorry for the awful angle. I had this fun little thing that's supposed to like be able to go on my window. It broke, or I'm not using it right. I don't freaking know, but now I'm annoyed. So anyway, that was the thing that about made me crash out this morning, was that the stupid phone holder. I've had a lot of feelings over this layoff. Weirdly, a sense of like peace and calm, I think. And I think it's because, the company I've worked for over the last 2 years, maybe we've done 4 or 5 rounds of layoffs, some restructuring, all of those things. I was lucky enough to like make it till the end. But I think it's just been the constant stress of like, are we going to make it? The highs and lows, all of those things. And now it's like we have an answer. And so I think is there a filter on me? Or is this just really good lighting? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I think that's kind of why I feel this weird sense of calm. It's like there's no longer that like roller coaster of emotions of like what's gonna happen. And with that, it's like we've known that there was a potential that this company wasn't gonna make it, especially over the last like month or so. And so that was pretty stressful. And, I feel like we've been mourning the potential loss of the company that whole time. So I'm not super sad because I think I've already had that chance to be sad. I've been kind of sad for a while about it. And so this is just like, I don't know. Again, I don't know. It's a weird feel. But the one thing that really gets to me is, like I said, we've had layoffs and stuff over the last few years. And those of us that were left at the company, I don't know, maybe 50 of us. I don't even know if that was the number. I'm just making this up. We went from several hundred to 50 here at the end. All of us that were still there, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we were all still with the company because we really believed in what we did. We loved what we do. We believed in the mission, and we were going down with the ship, our white knuckle dying grip, right? And we were going to be there till the end because we really just were hoping things would get better. And we wanted to be there when it did. And it's a little frustrating because from my understanding, everyone that's been laid off prior got some sort of severance package, and we get nothing. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand business is business, and working for a startup, there was a lot of investors involved. So investors, shareholders, debts need paid first. I get that. But it's just one of those things where it's like, we really meant nothing. And that's frustrating. That's at any job, I'm sure. But it's just, that's the big thing that's like eating me alive over this last week and these last few days. And I don't know why. And it's not even the fact that we're not getting anything. It's just like the morals. Is it morals behind it? Does that even make sense? It's just like the fact that we literally just meant nothing to them. and we gave everything to them, and I think that's the part that I hate the most. But would I have done anything different? Probably not. I probably still would have, like, knowing this, I probably still would have just stuck it out till the end, because again, I was there to watch the company go the other way and really hoping we could change. But yeah, that's just been a hard pill to swallow, kind of like a punch to the gut, all of those things. So anyway, and since being laid off, of course, my TikTok is full of layoff videos and talking about how there's so many people getting laid off in 2025. And so if you get laid off or have been laid off, I'm with ya. I feel ya. I don't know if you feel this way, but since being laid off, I feel like the biggest POS for now not providing financially to my family. And I don't know why. I'm sure that's something that'll I'll get over. And it's not like there's not other options for me with my degree and experience. I know there's plenty out there. I kind of just took the weekend off and like not thinking about jobs. And I'm going to start looking and seeing my options, you know, this week. But just the fact knowing that I don't have a job, and I've had a job since I was like 17 or 18, I just feel like the biggest piece of shit. So that's cool. But anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble. I think needed to vent, to talk. And yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my first day of unemployment. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do. I might go through my daughter's clothes and reorganize her closet, because what else am I supposed to do with my time?